Please welcome the R&B hippie neo-soul rock star and Grammy-nominated Artist of the Year, Mr. Raheem DeVaughn.
How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you so much for joining us.
And thank y'all guys for having me here.
Thank you. Well, let's start with your current project, the Love War Masterpiece. Tell me about that.
The Love War Masterpiece is like a fusion of conscious music, love songs,
wow.
PSAs, and whatnot. You know, when you get into your records like Bulletproof, Nobody Wins a War, Winging a Prayer featuring Bun B from UGK, which is on the extended version of the album. Those are more socially conscious records. You know, records like Bob, you know, Microphone. You know, those
I love that, by the way.
Those are like the bedroom records, you know, and you know, I guess another big PSA record would be like Black and Blue, which deals with like domestic violence.
Okay.
One of my, you know, initiatives, and that I've, you know, supported as far as, you know, fighting against it.
Oh, wow.
You know, back, you know, 2010 is one of the initiatives I took on, you know, through my music.
So is there one song, like if you were to give me a tour of this project, and where would you start and why?
I'm probably a record like Bulletproof,
Okay.
you know, featuring Ludacris, or a record like Can I Live featuring Damian Marley, only because it's my passion to write, you know, socially conscious songs, or, you know, records that I feel like are therapeutic to the world.
Absolutely, and just off of that, the song "She's Single." I think after, I just want to say.
Switch right to the sex record.
No, I just want to say, I think after half of America's females saw that, I think they all wish they were single. I mean, was,
no.
Where did that come from?
Well, that was actually a record that just kind of came about. I've been doing mixtapes for about 8 years now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And you know, I've always done the mixtapes to just kind of reinvent myself and keep myself relative, you know, as far as, you know, with my audience and my core audience, and maybe win over some new fans in the process. So, you know, I put the new mixtape together, Raheem DeVaughn, Jacking for Beats, Volume 1, which is available online right now for free download at 368musicgroup.com, bandcamp.com, .bandcamp.com. And you know, it's very much a visual world now. You know, I feel like content is king, and I've been wanting to do a video that was very tasteful but still cutting edge on the sexy side. You know, something that was real. You know, almost feel like it's real. Show me in another light. So I feel like, you know, this was the opportunity.
That definitely showed you in another light.
to do it. You know.
And I think you probably should rename it to Manual for Men, because you definitely put your thing down.
Well, I mean, I be honest, I didn't expect it to be as big as it's, you know, been.
Yeah.
You know, being a trending topic on Twitter worldwide for like 3 days, and then locally for about a week. And you know, my social networking love has definitely increased. You know what I'm saying? Facebook and the Twitters and whatnot. So I mean, I take it on. You know, I just hope that I just don't want the fans to lose sight of the fact that, like, you know, yeah, there's a now that I've introduced you to the sexy side of Raheem DeVaughn, like, you know, enjoy that as much as you enjoy the socially conscious side, or you know, the activist side, or the philanthropy side. Right.
And you mentioned 368. So you started your own record label.
Definitely, it's been a lot of work.
Yeah, like, what was your thought process behind it, or why did you feel like you want to do that? Because now you're a brand.
Well, yeah, well, you know, for me in particular, you know, the year 2011 is you know, me gaining my independence back, you know, as an artist, and now being able to be a shot caller and deciding, you know, what my next move will be as an artist is, you know, signed to himself, and, you know, potentially has the, you know, next situation I go into can control the masters and get dollars on a record and that type of thing. And you know, I've always had the entrepreneurship, you know, spirit. You know what I'm saying? I just really wanted to feel like I want to be a platform or a gateway for a lot of the artists from the area. And
speaking on that, you signed Phil Ade.
Yeah, who's performing here.
He's up next. What was it about Phil that you saw that you knew that you wanted to work with him?
Just, you know, I saw somebody that was bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, you know, definitely reminded me of myself, you know what I'm saying, you know, years ago in this business, you know, and, you know, ultimately somebody with a dream, you know what I mean, just feel like I just want to fuel, you know, that. And you know, since then we've taken on Phil and a couple of other artists that we're working with. D-Boy from Florida, Stello, who's from Baltimore, and Future, who's from DC, native, you know, by way of Jamaica. You know, hopefully we'll have them on the show at a later date.
Absolutely, definitely. So what I want to talk about real quick is, well, we polled some of our fans, some of your fans, and they emailed and they wanted to know, they had a few questions, so we pick a couple questions from your fans. The first one is, if you weren't doing music, what career would you be doing?
Probably something in the field of working with kids, with the youth, mentoring, counseling, that type of thing, outreach programs, maybe a group home, some of that nature.
And also the second question is, what's your biggest pet peeve?
My biggest pet peeve? Oh man, probably just like I think I'm just learning how to just appreciate time, you know what I mean? Like the fact that, like, you know, it's the one thing we can't get back. So it's just like really just like making sure, you know, that me using my time wisely, you know, people I do business with, making sure that the time is used, you know, to our full advantage.
And do you see, I guess, from where you started to your progression to now, do you sort of see like the difference and just sort of how you've grown? I mean, like what's
definitely. I mean, I think I definitely, you know, feel like I've matured in this business, you know, just on the way here, just having like the conversations that I like have with my manager now, you know, it's like night and day versus, you know, 5 years ago, you know, 8 years ago, 10 years ago, you know, some of the conversations that we have now, you know, involving, you know, anywhere from, you know, money to budgets for touring to, you know, like I said, I'm in the middle of taking on, you know, a bidding war hands-on as far as, you know, deciding where I'm going to take my brand as Raheem DeVaughn is concerned and the 368 Music Group label.
Because it's growing.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
By leaps and bounds.
Definitely.
Did you expect such a, I mean, to really, like, when you had that quiet moment before all this began, did you see how big this would be, or the potential for it to be?
Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, definitely. I saw the potential there.
Right.
You know, I just try to keep things in perspective. You know, keep the creator, keep God first.
Absolutely.
You know, and then also it's about putting a proper team around you, though. People that you can trust, and you know, people that have great ideas, and just really, you know, down to work hard. It's like work ethic. It's like, you know, it's something that I'm big on, like, and just being real stern about that in 2011.
Absolutely. So when was the moment for you that you knew you made it?
I don't know. I can't say that I've fully made it yet. Like, I'm still making it, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
like,
compared to, I mean, if you have to ask, I mean, the audience and ask, you know, your public, I mean, they love you and you have such a big following.
For me, it's really, like, for me, it's about the legacy you leave behind, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm just kind of just building the legacy right now, and you know, it's kind of like a painter, you know, when he first takes a canvas and, you know, stroke by stroke. So I'm just really just creating the legacy, you know. I mean, when people look back on my legacy, I want them to look back and say, like, okay, this was an artist that had something to offer, other than just, you know, a record for the club or a record for the bedroom, or, you know, and bigger than that, you know, was out in the community and really made an impact, you know.
So now you're nominated, congratulations, for a Grammy.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't even imagine. Like, when you're sitting there and you're waiting for your name to be called, because it will, and you will win, who do you thank? I
mean, you gotta thank the creator. You know, you gotta thank the, you know, the family. You gotta thank the close friends that's been there along the way from jump. You know, you know, and then you have your people you do business with, and you know, it's a lot of people to thank. You know what I mean? But first, but none of these people would be here. Of course, we wouldn't be here without you know, without the creator. So I mean, first thanks goes out to him. You know.
Absolutely. Well, I want to thank you for being here and taking time out to talk with me.
Well, thank you guys for having me. Look forward to coming back.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you.
Plant inspiration. Provide youth with the creative tools and skills to cultivate it. And you'll You'll be amazed at what can grow. Adobe Youth Voices and the Peapod Foundation. Learn more at plantandinspire.org.
Okay, guys, that's our show. I want to thank my special guests, Raheem DeVaughn, Phil Ade, and Rashad Payne. So check me out next time on Aostl, AOSTL.com. I'll see you next time. Bye.